Hey, I'm Chris Rolfe, the professional prospector, and today we got a special treat. We're talking with representatives from Fisher Metal Detector. I've been out to Fisher, First Texas. You guys do Technetics and Bounty Hunter and other stuff too. But most of your gold-related detectors are under the Fisher brand, right?
Yeah, I think it's all under Fisher.
I got my official Fisher swag here. I've had for a while. But we're out testing metal detectors and talking about new developments, and Fisher's a company with a lot of history in the gold area, and I will say that my first metal detector that I ever bought was a Fisher VLF TR.
Wow,
so we're talking
back.
Old, yeah, we're talking old school. That thing, this is like a detector from the 80s, right?
Sure.
Design. Yeah, it would only hit pretty good sized big gold nuggets. and it was really made for coins. Great for coins.
Yeah, we've come a long way since then.
Yeah, you've come a long ways. Yeah, that's ancient stuff. But we're testing stuff for the future, for new detectors coming out, and we were testing a couple of detectors. Some detectors are different designs and stuff related to pulse induction.
Yeah, we're really making some great strides towards pulse induction. Chris has been a huge help. We've been out here multiple times with you over the past 2 years or so. So yeah, the pulse induction, it's something that we feel very confident and excited about to get into that realm of detection. We have one of the most sensitive VLF,
the Goldbug 2.
The Goldbug 2. So it makes sense for us to now jump into the pulse induction side of things.
And we've been here with a few of the First Texas, the engineers that designed the metal detectors, looking at different things. I took you guys out to a couple places with bad ground and that sort of thing, and just we were testing how they performed, and of course, bad ground, mineralized ground, and gold kind of go together. I mean, there are places with mild ground that have gold, but gold and bad ground in so many instances go together.
Yeah, it was nice to be able to get into, and that's kind of the struggle that we run into, and we rely on guys like you, is you guys know areas, you've come across them through your metal detecting, and you were able to get us in an area. I wouldn't say it was the worst ground in the world, but it was tough ground.
Yeah.
And we're very happy.
There was gold there. I got a couple of little nuggets there yesterday. So there's definitely gold there, but there's definitely rough ground. And I went around yesterday and I noticed several places where there was somebody else's dig hole, and I put the metal detector there and it would sound off in the dig hole, but next to the dig hole it sounded off too.
Sure.
And in the pile from the dig hole it sounded off too, and it's just the mineralized ground, and that's the kind of thing where you need a good PI for that sort of detecting. Is if you don't have that kind of resistance to mineralized ground, you're going to have a rough time with a VLF.
Yeah. And we did have some of our VLFs out there, and they handled it well, but not as well as the pulse induction. The pulse induction, you chased a lot less ground noise than we were with the VLF units.
Right. So we really can't get into the details about the pulse units because they're still under development and adjustment, and
the big thing there is we'd hate to say it's got this, it's got that, or it even looks this way, and by the time production comes out, maybe it doesn't. Maybe a tester like you, because we've made changes off of what you said, so we'd hate to say it has X, and then when it comes out, they're like, hey, I remember Russ and Chris said it was this, and it's different.
Right.
So that's the whole reason.
I've done testing on metal detectors, and when you start with the early level, with the first kind of units that are going out in the field, out of the lab, out of the development stage to be field tested, some of the first ones, they're not ready for prime time.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, you got to start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere, but that's what field testing is about: is making those improvements so that when you finally go to the manufacturing level, it's a great detector.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of some of the stuff we're doing now. These things have had some field testing, but they're not ready for final manufacturing level and you know, locking everything in and that sort of thing.
I would say if, you know, there's 3 phases of field testing right now, we're just passing phase 2. So, you know,
in the middle.
Yeah.
No, I looking at what I've seen the last couple of days, I'd say yes, that's about right.
Yep.
So, but it's exciting. It's exciting that Fisher is getting into this. Like I say, Fisher's had so much past success. I'm excited about what you guys are doing for the future. You guys, your detectors are assembled and sold out of the United States, which, you know, some other manufacturers aren't necessarily doing that. And so, you know, and yet the price point on a lot of your detectors is pretty good. Exactly.
Yeah. You know, I mean, it's kind of, it's a balance you have to walk nowadays. You know, we've seen the metal detector prices, you know, slowly coming down, but new technology also goes higher. So, you know, we're interested to see. There's no price point set on our pulse induction units yet because that's all performance based.
Yeah, and they're still not ready to go to the manufacturing phase yet.
Yeah, we just don't know what they are just yet.
Right. So, speaking of price points, and you know, one of the things about Fisher detectors, I've done Goldbug, not the Goldbug 2, but the other Goldbug that's sometimes called the Goldbug Pro. I've done videos about that, and they've been really popular. And in fact, I'll put a couple of links. I'll put some links up here, and I'll put some links down in the description, same links, if you're interested in those videos. But you guys are working on something that you're calling the Goldbug for Africa.
Yeah.
And it certainly will be for sale in Africa, but I think eventually it's going to be for sale in other places as well.
Yeah, you know, so that unit is made, it was made for Africa. It's already available and being sold in Africa. But we're starting to realize that this would be a great product for the U.S. We haven't moved it into the U.S. market, but I think it's sure to happen here soon because it's a great starter unit. You're able to jump into this unit, and you know, it does have things like auto ground tracking, which you don't see on the you know, the other versions of the Goldbug.
Right, and that's why I'm excited about it. So I'm really excited about this new detector that, like I say, you said you're selling now in Africa, but will, in the not too distant future, you know, it's be available to people from the U.S. or Canada or Australia, wherever. And basically, I recommend this detector. You know, I call it the Goldbug Pro, but there's other, you know, Goldbug names. It's the lower end Goldbug. I recommend it because it literally, it really, I think it's the best detector that for bang for the buck, because it has the power to find good gold. It can do that. It is a price point that's relatively low. In fact, honestly, I think that it's the least expensive detector that has the oomph and capabilities of finding gold, you know, that you could take it out to the field and do well with it. And you know, it has good features. And so this new feature, the feature that basically will add automatic ground, the current one, it does track ground in the background, but you have to press a button to update it. It's called a ground grab. Right. And I just think that for a lot of, it's a great new guy detector. It's really, I mean, you know, I don't recommend people go out and start with a metal detector that costs several $1,000s, because you might not find that you like it as much as you think you will. And it's better to start out with one that's, you know, like the Goldbug for Africa, that one. When you start out with that, you can find, hey, I really do enjoy this, and I'm finding some gold, so maybe in the future I can step up to a more expensive, higher performance detector, maybe a pulse induction machine, something like that. And so I've tested this unit, that's the calling the Goldbug for Africa, but it's the Goldbug for other places too, eventually.
Exactly, yeah.
And I heartily recommend it. And in fact, when it comes out and is available for other markets, you know, when you've got enough of them in stock that you can do that, I'd sure like to do a video about that. And just because the other video that I did for the Goldbug Pro, it's a great machine. I heartily recommend the detector, but this one is kind of a improved version of that. It has automatic ground balance that will just run, and you don't need to remember to press the ground grab balance, you know, button every so often.
Yeah, you know, I mean, listen, these units here, this unit is so good for new users, because probably one of the largest challenges in gold prospecting for a new user is keeping that, you know, a highly sensitive unit like that 19 kilohertz Goldbug for Africa ground balanced, right? I mean, ground balance is, you know, if you have a lot of ground noise, you're going to hide those small targets. Well, the Goldbug for Africa takes care of that for you, because it automatically tracks, it keeps you in the optimal ground balance setting. And so for new users, you know, it's literally a turn on and go metal detector. And
it is a detector great for new guys. And there's a lot of new guys that, you know, hey, look, the price of gold right now is over $2,300 an ounce, and it's been going up. And who knows, by the time I release this video, or maybe by the time you're watching this video, what the price will be. But with these high prices, I'm seeing a lot of interest from folks that want to get into metal detecting for nuggets, and it's a great machine for that part of the market, where people who want to get into it, it's a great choice.
I agree.
So anyway, if you're interested in this Goldbug for Africa, and when it comes onto the market, I will for sure be making a notice and letting people know on my channel that it's available, and where or what the procedure would be. Because didn't you tell me that it probably will be more like something direct marketed from, although, you know, there may be other changes that happen between now and then.
So, but you know, so right now, really, it's only being sold into Africa. It's not in our distributor, you know, flow right now. So I would imagine early on we'll get it into the distributor flow, you know, whether it's on Amazon with some of our other dealers, or whether you can buy it direct from the dealers. But right now, I think if somebody really wanted one, the only way in the US you could get one is maybe contact the factory.
Okay. And how would you contact the factory? Like an email or something like that?
Yeah, you could call the number. Unfortunately, I only know the non-1-800 business line numbers.
I tell you what, I will put the contact information in the description down below the you know, for the video, and if you're really interested in that, you can contact them and say, hey, you know, let me know, or maybe get on a waiting list or something like that.
Yeah, and you know, even what that does too, even if we can't sell it right now, it creates demand in the American market, and and the people that make the decisions, you know, might push it along into the American market a little bit quicker if we get some calls to the factory about it.
So anyway, I'm excited about that, because it's a great detector for new guys wanting to get into it. I'm excited for the pulse induction machines. They're a little bit further out. I mean, they're not like, you know, something that's going to happen in the next few months or something like that.
Yeah, we don't have a timeline on it.
Yeah, I don't have a timeline on it. But I'm excited for testing those and seeing the progress that's being made. I think there's going to be some really excellent detectors coming out from Fisher in the not too distant future, in the foreseeable future.
We're pushing as hard as we can, as quickly as possible, and still have a quality product.
You bet. Of course, quality product is the bottom line. You gotta have that. Yeah. So anyway, thanks for being with me, for sitting down with me today, Russ, and thanks for bringing the engineers with you out here and having some time to do some testing, maybe find a little gold, and enjoy the beautiful forest that we're in.
Well, thank you. You make a lot of things possible for us. We always have a great time coming out here, and I think we've found gold with you every single time we've come out. Even if we weren't looking for gold, just testing product, we found gold with you. Thank you very much for having us here.
All right. Well, hey, one of the things about prospecting that's super critical, really, beyond just a great metal detector or whatever other equipment, a sluice box or anything else that you might use, a dry washer. We talked a little bit about dry washers the other day. The bottom line is you have to know what you're doing. Gold is so expensive because it's rare. And it's just not everywhere, and what you know as a prospector makes a big difference in the likelihood of your success. And the success, the knowledge that you need to be successful. I wrote a book about prospecting, and the book tells the information that you need to know about becoming a prospector and being successful. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my book right now.
So this is my book, Fistful of Gold. You can see it's an encyclopedia distilling down my 45 plus years of prospecting experience plus my degree into the parts that you need to know. I spent most of 10 years writing this. It was not just a simple effort that I sat down and wrote it. You can see it's like 250,000 words. It's not something you're going to read through in a day or maybe even a week or more. But it's got a lot of information and reference material that you can come back to. You can read it once and read it again and get more out of it because there's just that much depth of material in this. I wrote this book because I want you to have the skills to go out and find fistfuls of gold for yourself. And if you have the skills and know what you're doing and get out in the field and make a real effort, you can find significant gold. It's not easy. I'm not going to tell you that because, gold, it wouldn't be, close to $2,000 an ounce, which is what it is right now. It wouldn't be so expensive if it was easy to find. It's not easy. You just can't walk out into an old gold field and start picking up nuggets. If the gold was easy to see and find, the old timers would have picked it up and taken it themselves. So you got to have skill. You got to know what you're doing. You got to be able to master what it takes to find gold, and you've got to have the persistence and put in the effort to find the material, to find the gold or diamonds or gemstones that you're looking for. Now, this book has geology, it has facts about gold, it has stuff about diamonds and platinum, but it's mostly about gold deposits, how gold deposits form, how placer and nuggets form, all the questions you've probably wanted to ask. The book is available on Amazon, and I'll put a link to it in the description below, but you can look up on Amazon, Fistful of Gold, and by Chris Ralph, and find this book. Now, the book, if you look at it, it has a very high rating. It has like a 4.7 or 4.8 out of 5, which is really high. I mean, it's hard to please everybody, but I'm close to a 5 out of 5, not far from it, right? So it's been out. I've sold more than 15,000 copies of this book, and I've had tremendous response, tremendous positive response by the people who buy it. And I think if you buy it, you'll be just as happy with it. Now, in addition to my book, I also have a website that I do, and I'll tell you a little bit more about my website and show you some images from the website right now. Now, my website is nevadaoutbackgems.com, and I'll put a link to the prospecting page, this prospecting encyclopedia page, down in the description below, but you can find it at Nevada Outback Gems. I sell some jewelry, turquoise, other gemstones there. I don't always keep the inventory perfectly up to date, so if you're interested in anything you see, do contact me first before trying to send me money or anything, because I want you to be able to get what you order. But the website has lots of different stories, old adventures, even some stories, true stories from the old-time miners of the 1800s. So I think it's something you'll find interesting. The other thing I want to go back to is that all my comments, I want you guys to ask questions on the comments for my videos. I answer 100% of the comments that are made on my videos. Now, sometimes if somebody just says, hey, great video, I really enjoyed it, you know, the comment may just be, well, I'm really glad you liked it. Or, you know, if it's a simple question. And sometimes I get people who ask me questions, oh, it would take a book to answer that question. And I recommend that they just buy the book. But I answer all my questions. I try to help people as much as I can. I'm here to help you. So if you're interested in gaining the skills, if you're interested in knowing what you need to know to be successful, follow along with me. Subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so that they'll let you know when I come out with new videos, and I try to do that pretty much every Saturday morning. And you'll enjoy with me, you'll come along with me, we'll have an adventure together, and we will find some nice gold and see what it's really like getting out in the woods, or the deserts, or the mountains, wherever we land, wherever the gold is, wherever the diamonds are, wherever the platinum is. Come along, we'll have some fun. And I'll see you real soon on the next video.